as an intro here, when you're looking at the target board and trying to relate it to the size of a soldier in the field, I find it useful to think of the target uh, in this kind of way, and the way the image on your screen represents here. You see a man standing with his feet at the bottom part of the white target, and you know, at different ranges, you would ideally want to focus on different portions of a man depending on, you know, your rifle and stuff. But the most important thing is judging distance. So, as you'll see in the video, at different targets, you know, at different ranges, you want to aim at different places because your gun is sighted in a particular way, and you can't change the sighting, you know, so you got to be able to work around a fixed default sighting of your weapon. So just as a brief overview, when you're at like 40 yards or less of your target, and it's a man, you know, you want to focus like right below the belly button, perhaps, like maybe the crotch area, lower stomach, to maximize your chances of hitting center mass. When you're, you know, above 40 yards, maybe 50 to 80 yards, it's particularly the 70-yard target, you're actually going to be aiming more for the knees, the lower part of the inner white circle, in order to maximize your chances of hitting center mass. And then at 80 yards to 180 yards, you want to just pretty much aim dead center mass of the target that you're aiming, just right for the middle, because that's where the trajectory of most rifles flattens out for the most part. So just keep that in mind as you view the video on you know, how to aim a basic rifle on the Union Drill Camp Arty Range. Hi, this is Lorenz here. When you're firing at the 20-yard target on the Union Drill Camp with most rifled guns, I think every gun pretty much, you want to aim right below the bullseye just a little bit, because the gun is sighted for 100 yards, and at this distance you need to undershoot your weapon just a tad. So that's my recommendation for the 20-yard target here. You know, if a man is charging you as well and you think they're about 20 yards away, you're probably aiming for the lower stomach, if you will. Yeah. Alright, and that's the 20-yard target. For the 40-yard target, it'll be the same kind of adjustment. You just want to aim below the bullseye, but still not that far below the bullseye. Probably just, you know, 6 inches below the bullseye. If a man's, and this is a 40-yard target, so like if a man's charging at about 40 yards, it's relatively the same thing. The lower stomach is what I'd be aiming for. That I accidentally aimed a little lower there. Yeah, I mean, it's still random, but a little bit below the stomach, I mean, to get the center mass ranged in. The next set of targets, the 70-yard targets, are where you really get the maximum distortion. You need to aim more at the lower line of the inner circle, which translates to like a guy's knee. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, it's your best bet, in my opinion. Some guns have that more or less, but these are generally good rules of thumb for the basic rifled weapons. I'd say even the smoothbore 1842 is still applying to the same logic to all three of these targets. And at the last target range is where common sense kicks in, and the weapon ballistics really are common sense. I would say at this target, and for targets up to 200 yards, you want to aim dead center mass, because that's where the trajectory really flattens out for rifles. Though there probably is bullet drop, I don't really think it's as important or has as much of an impact as the sway of your rifle. The sway of your rifle causes bad aiming in all directions quite significantly. Bullet drop apparently, in theory, has pulls your rifle to the pulls your bullet downwards, but you know, I've never really noticed a pattern where my bullet strike is below my target very consistently. You know, like those two shots right there, the bullets struck the target, you know, high on the target. I wasn't really aiming at the top of the target, I was aiming dead center. And the reason, I think, is just the sway of the rifle is a consistent factor, and it's much more important to manage that than the bullet drop at distances of 100 to 200 yards, in my experience. So just aim dead center mass, you know, 100, 200 yards out. Your weapon sway, you know, can go up, it can go down. You want to hedge your bets and just put your target right in the dead center. Your iron sight's right in the dead center of your target. You know, because you're, in my experience, just as much likely to randomly pull your weapon down or up or left or right as, you know, and that's way more important to manage the weapon sway randomness than the bullet drop. Because though bullet drop probably exists, it probably is only really noticeably consistent at longer ranges, and to be honest, those longer ranges are not really engageable ranges. There's other factors too to consider, like elevation and stuff, but this was what I'd be saying is the basic rifle training tips that one needs to acquaint themselves with to become a experienced rifleman in WoR.